These American girls travel to China as part of the Adopteen program through CCAI Adoption Services. Each is in search of a cultural identity they hope to find.
Adopteen was founded in 2007 by my brother and myself, and we really just wanted to bring all the adoptees that we knew together and have them realize that they weren't the only ones around.
It's just been really wonderful being able to connect with other Chinese adoptees, because the community that I've grown up in, there really isn't any other Chinese adoptees.
Even as teens, just in general, you go through a lot of turmoil in trying to figure out your identity, trying to figure out where you belong, what you believe in, what defines you. When you look in a mirror and you feel white, your parents are white, you grow up in a white community, you kind of have a shock, a moment of shock whenever you look in the mirror and realize that it's something you don't recognize. We wanted to create a community for them to understand each other and be proud of where they come from, and be proud of where they're going, and be proud of who they are. When you belong, you don't have to explain that you belong. It happens. Our newest program at Adopteen is our Adoptees Giving Back orphanage service trip. It's our biggest program, biggest response. Everyone is looking for an opportunity to go back and kind of complete this circle that they are on, to volunteer at orphanages, work with the babies, work with the older kids, and trying to give back love.
You don't have to look far for glimpses into China's rich cultural heritage. Parks are a colorful pageant, blending ancient traditions and new trends. On their travels, the teens will be introduced to many new experiences and concepts. But first, they'll learn about the adoption process in China and how new families are created.
So as soon as we get to China, we hit the nail on the head. We go to CCCWA. CCCWA is the governmental entity that takes care of all international and domestic adoptions out of China and in China. So somewhere in that building is their file, and the opportunity to kind of see that and to see the process that goes behind everything before they're even put in their parents' arms is a very magical experience for a lot of the adoptees. We get to talk with the director, which is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, one-on-one question and answer.
跟大家在一起会给我带来阳光、快乐。
To be with children, with people who works in child welfare brings me happiness and sunshine.
So once we finish CCCWA, we want to give them a taste of China. A lot of them, again, it's the first time, so we try to immerse ourselves in the culture of Beijing.
We've all come from really similar backgrounds, and then to come back together again and come back to basically where we started, it's just been an amazing feeling. It's kind of surreal.
We believe that it's a better opportunity to come as a group with other adoptees and only adoptees, because there's a certain bond that you automatically experience when you come, and you don't want to be alone in that experience.
Going through everything together, I think that really means something, that you're not alone and that you can just kind of let your emotions be what they are.
Just outside Beijing looms the iconic Great Wall. While climbing across the monument, the girls have the opportunity to integrate China's history with their own and share a sense of pride at making this journey.
Didn't know if I was going to make it, but I did, and I think it was really rewarding in the end because you got a beautiful view.
Later that evening, the girls relax and reflect on their experiences. They're a world away from home, yet back where they began.
There's like a certain way to behave in China that I don't think that I'm following very well. I guess like American teenagers are like really loud and out there, and like more people in China are like more like quiet, and I think we're a little bit crazier than they would expect.
If I were them, I'd probably be looking at us too, like Chinese people, but they speak English. Just kind of makes me feel like an American, but also not really.
When you get a big group together, it catches a lot of attention in China. I think everyone's very curious. They're wondering where we're from, why we're wearing this, why we're doing this. We go eat some local foods, we do a hutong tour, get to see the old neighborhood of Beijing.
So we went on a rickshaw and we like rode through town on like this bike carriage thing, and it was super fun and it was like really relaxing. one of the families in the town made like lunch for us, and it was really cool just seeing like how like they lived.
They'll cook you local food in their kitchen. They're happy to have us, and we get to taste what real Chinese food tastes like. I think it kind of fills in a lot of blanks for a lot of us and lets us understand China as a people as opposed to China as a country and an idea.
Even with all the fun and exciting sites they visit, the teens don't lose focus on why they're here.
I still see the touristy things for a couple days, but then I also get to work with the kids at the orphanage, and I think that's really important. That's mainly why I'm here.
Okay, we're at Walmart right now, and we're shopping for the kids at the orphanage.
One of the most exciting things about the Adoptees Giving Back orphanage service trip that a lot of our travelers really enjoy is raising money from their friends and family and any supporters that want to support their trip, and using that money to kind of purchase some toys, first of all, to bring to the orphanage their first day and give to the kids as a kind of, hey, how are you? Look at these toys, this is fantastic.
We got like balls, like bouncy balls, we got hula hoops, we got little like princess crowns and little jewelry, bubbles.
And then kind of throughout the weekend, the orphanage, if they tell us that they need certain items that they aren't able to purchase with the money that they have, we can use the money that the travelers raised and use that to purchase all of these air conditioning machines, some DVD players, some cribs. And I think it's a nice tangible way for the girls and the boys to feel like they're doing and making another big impact on the orphanage aside from just giving love to the children.
The excitement the girls experience in China is not without unease. One of the more intimidating aspects of helping the younger orphans is changing a diaper. Everyone gathers round for a life-size, if not oversized, presentation. Trip counselor Eli and Amy demonstrate just how difficult it can be. Even though the funny diversion lightens the moment, reality awaits. The former orphans must face the challenge of returning to an orphanage and seeing what their first surroundings may have been like.
A lot of us, it's the first time going back to China, and for your first time going back to China and it being back to an orphanage, it adds on layers that you might not be prepared for.
I'm really interested to see how much attention is given to them and like the different living conditions of the orphans in the orphanage.
I actually really want to work with the older kids because I think that it'll be really cool to see how they think the orphanages, because I think it's like their family and that they like really love being there, and I would want to know like what they do there to help out.
Instead of just someone going in to offer them clothing or brand new books, it's going to be more of a connection since I've seen where they've been and I've done what they've done.
I'm really looking forward just to meeting these children and just seeing how alive that they are, and you know, I mean we would expect them to be like sad that they're orphans and you know, like kind of like those you know, like those commercials with animals and those like big eyes and really sad, but I think they're gonna be fine and happy.
I'm looking forward to seeing like newborn Asian babies. It seems weird, but I really never have seen one. Like, so I like none of us really know like what we look like when we were newborn, so it's like seeing little babies that are Asian.
So after all of this fun and touring and traveling, we are now in the orphanage. We are here at the Nanchang Social Welfare Institute, and here there are tons of kids.
We're just basically holding and playing with all the babies in the room. It's very fun. A lot of the babies just kind of hang out and maybe take naps. They play with the toys that are around. But we're able to play with them and hold them and talk to them now, which is good. Very happy. Hi. Hi. Oh.
And I think it's great for the girls to come here and provide this experience of being loved, being cared for, kind of have a face to recognize and connect with.
There is a little girl with Down syndrome, and she just came up and gave everyone hugs. And it just shows how much these kids want love and how open they are.
Immediately, as soon as you see them, they just want you to hold them and love them. And they just give you so much love, like more love than you thought that you could give them.
Both of the babies and the kids, all they want is to be loved.
You see these kids and they are so attached to their nannies, they're so attached to each other, and I think that's also very healing for a lot of our adoptees, because you start understanding that maybe the orphanage wasn't always so sad.
The nannies that I work with here are just so open and full of love, and they want to help each kid individually, even though there's like 600 kids here.
I'd say each nanny has like 2 or 3 babies around them. It'd be very hectic taking care of all of them.
You can tell that the nannies are working very hard, but there's only so many to go around, and there's hundreds of thousands of kids that are left up for adoption every year.
I've been working in the rehab area this whole week, and the nannies there, which is funny, I really connected with them. They've just been super sweet. They wanted us to teach them songs, and then they wanted us to give them English names, and then they asked us what the meanings were of it, so it's really funny.
I really like the facility here. There's lots of toys and games for the kids to play with, but there's also this feeling of sadness that there's all these babies here and nobody to really take care of them or take them home.
It is always hard to come to an orphanage, no matter who you are, but I think when you're adopted, there's another aspect that links you to the only home that you ever knew aside from your permanent home.
Because I'm adopted, I kind of almost feel guilty because I was kind of like taken out and they're still in the orphanage and that I have like a great family.
I feel sad that they can't experience the just family aspect, like just have one brother or sister or a mom and a dad that they can always go to.
We feel so like vulnerable to this sadness and we don't really know why.
I just didn't know I had so many emotions and so many questions that I wanted to have answered that I know I can't really have answered.
I don't know why I was given up, so it's just hard.
I think it's really interesting that like I was chosen, I guess. I feel like really bad for these kids, but I also know that like there's people that care about them and I know that they'll find good homes.
It makes me happy that we're back here because it is my orphanage, so I get to like see everyone, see where I was from. I get to know that I was taken care of because these nannies are doing an incredible job with these babies.
I think it's definitely a life-changing experience that I think every adoptee should go through.
Coming to Adopteen really helps you learn about yourself.
This whole trip, despite the heaviness of it, despite the emotions that possibly come up, it's still very fun.
I would definitely recommend it. It's been really fun and I've really bonded with everybody.
I mean, these kids, you were in their shoes once.
I think for me it's given me a sense of like pride in being a Chinese adoptee. I mean, it was something that I never liked being when I was younger.
And it's kind of like taking you back and making a full circle of being thankful for what you've been given, and also coming back and seeing what you lost.
And you kind of have this sisterhood that you can't really replicate with anybody else.
I think it would be really sad leaving. Sorry. So I hope I can come back again someday.
For more information about Adopteen or the Adoptees Giving Back program, please visit adopteen.org.